So how have American perspectives towards China changed since the last time you guys have released polling data?
Great question. So last time that we spoke with you, views of China were at their most unfavorable since we'd started polling in 2005, with 60% saying they had an unfavorable view of China. But we're back again with, again, the most unfavorable views of China that we've recorded since we began asking the question in 2005, now with two-thirds of Americans, or 66%, saying that they have an unfavorable view of China. So again, we're at our most negative in the history of our polling.
And have those perspectives stayed the same along party lines, or is there like a party political differential?
So, Republicans, through most of our polling, have tended to be more negative towards China than Democrats, and that is true once again this year. So, 72% of Republicans or of independents who lean towards the Republican Party have an unfavorable view of China, compared with 62% of Democrats or people who are independent and lean towards the Democratic Party. Republicans in general tend to be a little bit more concerned about a host of issues as well. Items like cybersecurity and cyber attacks coming from China, as well as economic issues like the trade deficit with China and loss of jobs to China.
Okay, how about other brackets? Maybe like age or income disparities? Are there any, trends in the data that follow those lines?
Definitely. There's some really interesting age patterns. So, historically, older people have tended to be more negative towards China, and that is once again the case here, where 71% of people ages 50 and older have an unfavorable view of China, compared to 53% of those under 30. But what's notable about that this year is it's the first time that more than half of people under the age of 30 have an unfavorable view of China. So we've seen kind of an increase across all age brackets, but it's the first time that we've kind of hit this majority unfavorable view among younger people.
Okay, so I'm assuming that's like broad sentiment towards like just China writ large.
Yeah, so the question that we asked is whether or not people have a favorable or an unfavorable view of China. So we're asking about the country, but we do also have a separate measure of confidence in President Xi Jinping to do the right thing in world affairs, and we saw some major changes in that this year as well. So when it comes to confidence in President Xi to do the right thing, this year we have the highest number of people saying that they have no confidence in him at 71%. And the percentage of people who say that they have confidence in him is down to 22%, which is 15 percentage points lower than last year.
Oh wow, that has fallen a lot. So what specific things are people reporting that they're worried about when they have these sort of negative opinions of China? Are there specific industry areas or topic areas that people pinpoint as what they're concerned about?
So we asked people about specific things, and then they're able to tell us whether or not they are very serious, somewhat serious, not too serious, or not at all serious issues. So we didn't allow people to organically suggest things. So no one on this particular survey could say something like they think COVID-19 is a very serious problem, because we started fielding before it was clear that this was going to be a large friction point in the US-China relationship, which potentially going forward it could be. But among the things that we asked about, which we've asked about historically, are issues like cyber attacks from China, which are a very clear concern for many Americans, about China's impact on the global environment, which is actually the one that Americans say is the most serious problem, with 61% saying it's a very serious problem for the US. And then we asked also about some trade-related issues, for example, loss of jobs to China and the trade deficit with China. And we see that Republicans tend to be more concerned than Democrats, but still around half of all Americans tend to say that these are very serious problems for the United States.